I don't know about you, but as a human, as a urologist, I hate to lose, and I hate to be felt like a loser. Well, there's this one urodynamic company. After you purchase the products, they jack up the prices, and they don't provide the service that you deserve. They make you feel like, yeah, loser. And this particular letter may mean something to you when it comes to urodynamics. We're not going to talk about that because bad-mouthing people is not very becoming. So what I brought to you is an alternative to what you're used to. I have on the line here virtually Dick Poore, who is the president of the Prometheus Group, the makers of the Morpheus urodynamic system. Some of you are already familiar with them. They are the other premier maker of urodynamics equipment that we commonly use in the urology office. And I also have on the line Denise DeAndrea, who's the director of clinical services for Prometheus Group. So she is very familiar with their urodynamics machine. That's been around for, I think, 12 years. And I'm going to introduce Dick, who's going to give us a brief background about his company and what else they offer. And then we're going to dive into the Morpheus urodynamic system so that they can give us some insight into why you may want to consider using the Morpheus system. So welcome, everyone.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Dick, can I have you give a 30-second synopsis of Prometheus? Because, you know, when I think of Prometheus and then the name of the urodynamics machine, Morpheus, I think of Morpheus, you know, Matrix, blue pill, green pill. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about this. The Prometheus Group and Morpheus.
Well, Morpheus came about because I'm a student of Greek mythology. So I like the idea of the name Morpheus for this particular system because it could be many things, one of which, of course, is urodynamics, and it's gained its reputation in urodynamics. But Prometheus started over 30 years ago in pelvic muscle rehabilitation. And we started with some handheld devices, eventually evolved into console-based systems which could provide more capability, and put that capability into the Morpheus system to offer the clinician options. You, with the Morpheus system, can limit yourself to urodynamics, but you can also add a pelvic muscle rehab component, and an erectile manometry component, and an ultrasound component. So we went across our base of physicians as to whom we sell to and offered options within the system.
Sounds really good. I have on the screen here, complex urodynamics, bladder ultrasound, pelvic muscle rehab, anorectal manometry, biofeedback, uroflowmetry, stimulation, and electromyography. And those are, so you're saying that this one particular system is kind of like you can build on top of it. Is that right?
That's correct. And it becomes extremely cost effective because with your first modality, you've purchased the hardware. So when you're coming back and saying to us, Prometheus, I'd love to add pelvic muscle rehab to the Morpheus platform, you're basically purchasing additional software and consumables, so it becomes far less expensive to add onto the system.
So after the initial acquisition of the hardware, you can purchase either software or maybe accessories to build up that system as your practice grows.
That is correct.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
And I'm going to bring in Denise DeAndrea. She's also online with us. What do you have to add regarding the Prometheus urodynamic system?
I think the biggest thing that we can offer is the ease of use. Anyone can start this and they can use any component of the system very easily. It's very intuitive and there's no hidden buttons. Everything is out there for them in the way that which they do their urodynamic studies, which can be all over the board.
Okay, so thank you so much, Dick, for the introduction and background about the company. I know you guys are located in New Hampshire. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And
Yeah.
but you do have sales teams across the country.
Yes, we do.
And how big is your installed base?
At this point in time, I think we have approximately 120 installed urodynamic systems. As far as anorectal manometry, that's much smaller. We don't have a great deal of influence in the colorectal space. And urogynecologists are a very small,
Even smaller
group.
subset,
So I would
for sure.
say probably about 20 or 30 active anorectal manometry systems across the country. Pelvic muscle rehabilitation is our largest. I would say we have an installed base of 500 or 600.
Yeah, quite a lot. And from what
Yes.
I read, you guys have what, over 5,000 clients worldwide. Is that right?
That is correct.
So this is not some fly by night type of a setup. So
No, we're not just starting out.
so a lot of my colleagues in the Thriving Urology Practice Facebook group have greatly complained about how one other company jacks up the prices of their disposables and makes the upgrade of the hardware of their urodynamic setup just extremely cost prohibitive. And many have switched over to the Morpheus system and they are extremely happy. And that's why I reached out to you. And so I'm very grateful that you are here and willing to speak on the system to let everyone know about this other alternative, which a lot of my colleagues are very happy about. I'm sure we'll put it in the video description, the contact phone number, or if anyone wants to reach out to me directly, I'm happy to forward your information to the Prometheus Group. You can find them online regarding their urodynamic systems. On the screen, I'm showing the 3 different Morpheus systems. There's the Morpheus, the basic one, which is the Office Urodynamics, and then you have the UHD Advanced Urodynamics, and then you have the UHD Video Urodynamics. Denise, would you mind briefly going over the differences among the 3 different systems?
Well, you have your simple urodynamic system, which incorporates all of the different types of ways you can do your urodynamic studies, including uroflowmetry, with and without EMG, 2 EMGs, as a matter of fact. They can be monitored throughout the system. Then we go to an advanced, which can be then capable to go into a video urodynamic system, and the setup is almost seamless. Or there is the video urodynamics, which has a large, very beautiful array of screen that you can see what is going on in the study on the screen, as well as the video that you're taking, which is very useful and helpful, and take many bursts and pictures of the shots whenever you need to at an ease of a button. So, and the reports are fantastic in all systems across the board.
So tell me more about the reports. I know you guys loaded some new nomograms into the software.
Yes, well, part of our influence was, of course, with pediatric urology. So we were fortunate enough to work with Dr. Franco and load in his male and female pediatric nomograms. They're also configured for male and female adults, and they're configured with and without post-void residual calculations. So that is a new, unique nomogram offering of Prometheus. Yes.
That is wonderful. Now, Denise, with what's going on in the world right now, and also with the great resignation that is happening across the country, there's a lot of staff turnover. If I have a new person coming in who needs additional training because we lost that initial person who can perform urodynamics, what kind of support does the Prometheus Group offer?
We have stellar support system. We have not only the greatest technical support staff that is based in New Hampshire, but we also have myself and a couple of others that are able to be gotten at a phone call, and we can help them remotely. We can go into their system via Team Viewer. We can answer their questions via email. We can help them out, and we have in the past. We have a good support system to help anybody with any of their questions. There are also little leave behinds. Our operators guides are very easy to look at and use, different parts of them, different components. So if you have a particular problem, we can zone in and we can help you out very easily. It does not always require someone to be on site, but we can offer that as well.
So speaking of Team Viewer, and it sounds like you can remotely get into the Morpheus system. Is that right?
Yes, you can. We can access via Team Viewer, which is a remote internet connection. And our technical support people can look in and see if it is something hardware, software. They can extract the files, look at them, and then get back with either a fix, a solution of sorts, sometimes immediately, and other times it will require some time. But we do get back.
So being the, switching gears here, being the geek that I am, the computer that I'm using to stream this video, actually the CPU chip failed after many years, and I was able to replace it. So my question to you, Dick, is who designed the hardware in the Morpheus system? Because it seems like it's a custom box, a custom computer with ports inside it where you can expand.
I think you're talking about our advanced and video systems. That is a custom computer, and it's designed basically to get around some of the Windows issues that you can have as far as updates are concerned, and making us coming in and changing things so that your system will work again. It's an extremely fast processor embedded in this. Our office system uses an all-in-one PC computer, which is a commercial computer, not a custom computer. But I would like to fall back a little bit on our technical support with the Team Viewer. We use a HIPAA compliant version of Team Viewer, and we resolve, I would say we have a 95% up rate for our systems right now using this remote capability. That's not to say that we don't come on site with every purchase. That's part of it as well. We will send in a clinical expert to work, hopefully with scheduled patients, to install and get your system up and running properly and configure the system the way that your practice wants to do urodynamics.
So let me ask you, Denise, as a clinical support person, what are some of the common mistakes that some of the urology practices make when it comes to purchasing a urodynamic system? And to follow up on that, what are some of the mistakes that people do when using the urodynamic system?
Well, I think that sometimes they are in a hurry to purchase the same system that they've already had, whereby they don't look at the technical or clinical support that is offered, and they know that they're going to need that ongoing. We have many people that, while they may know urodynamics, they may have worked now for another position or an office that does things a little bit differently. So they're going to have to adjust and adapt to whatever way they are doing it. We have an easy way to do that, and we can give you a step-by-step. We can help you out. We can go in. We can do it via, phone. We can do it via Team Viewer. But we have the tools to help, and we listen to the customers, the accounts, for their needs, and we will address their needs, not go into something else. So we address whatever their problems are.
Sounds great. And if I not mistaken, the Office, the Morpheus Office is the entry-level system. Is that correct?
It is the
Yes.
entry-level system. That's correct.
And I have,
But any of our systems can be upgraded to advanced or to video urodynamics. So the Office system is not truncated in any manner.
so basically you can start out with the Morpheus Office and then build on top of that hardware-wise, and of course the software will move up with you.
That is correct.
So your initial investment is not gone after making it.
Oh, no, you're going to save almost all of your initial investment is still valuable in the upgrade. Yes.
That's phenomenal. I'm going to go into a little bit detail about the Morpheus Office. I have on a screen the image of the Morpheus Office Urodynamics, and I see that you're using Windows 10, running it in 64-bit, high-res computer, and you said it's not a custom-built computer. And I really like the idea of this hydraulic height adjustment on the trolley, because every operator's height is different and viewing angles can change, and it's adjustable to the operator, which I really, really like. Expandable architecture and upgrade options, we talked about that, so you can move all the way up to UHD, video urodynamics, and you mentioned the new nomograms, especially for peds. Wireless communication, which is very important when it comes to portability, because you never know, you may have multiple procedure rooms that you need to use their urodynamics in. And tell me more about the security protection. I am very security conscious. I'm almost paranoid when it comes to the integrity and the safety of patient data. Tell me a little bit more about the security protection.
Well, I should probably get one of our engineers in here for an in-depth discussion, but I'll tell you what I do know. Your database is encrypted, first of all.
Awesome.
And the username and password is configured to be as complex or as easy as the user or the institution, the IT department within an institution deems it to be. So there's a lot of protection as far as patient data is concerned. You control how you want to identify your patients. It does not have to be by name. It can be unique IDs. So everything from user-defined passwords to timeouts to logouts, it's all pretty well protected as far as the security of the system is concerned.
Well, I tell you, I can appreciate, Dick, as someone in your situation who has so much insight into the actual nitty-gritty of a particular feature in your Morpheus system. And lastly, integrated EMR capabilities. Most of us are running electronic medical records and electronic health records. Speak a little bit to that integration capability, Denise, if you don't mind.
Well, there are a couple of ways that we integrate. We can, at the end, take all of the reports, and we can put them and easily go into a PDF file, a Word document, send them over either via automatically on your desktop, have your EMR situated there. Our tech support guys will help their tech support put it on there. Beyond that, for those that do not or cannot have that available to them, you can take it in a jump drive and put it to your EMR very easily. You can send it to any report mechanism. You can send it to the email that you need to, if it's yours. And there are restrictive ways, but you can print it out, scan it in. There are different ways, but PDF file goes in easily, and Word.
Sounds like it's highly customizable how you want the information to come out of the system into a desktop USB drive, or you're integrated into your EHR. So love that. Okay, lastly, I'm going to talk about what a lot of urologists and urology practices have complained about, which is the cost of the catheters that we all need to use for every single urodynamic study. Can you tell me what type of catheters can be used for the Morpheus system, Denise?
Well, you can use either the air charged, which you'll get from the competitor because they are the only ones that have it. But most people are changing and switching over to water filled. Water filled is the old gold standard, if you will, and they are returning to that. The plug and play was easy, and that's why a lot of people went to it. This is easy as well. It is a lot less costly, and it is efficient. And we provide, again, less than the competitors, an assortment of different water perfused catheters to be used.
Sounds like it's very versatile. You can use the air charge or the water charge. And I know for a fact, based on the complaints of the many members in the Thriving Urology Practice Facebook group, this other company that appears to have a monopoly on the air charge catheter is just literally raping the urology practices over cost. And so we're kind of fed up. And that's why I'm so glad that someone mentioned Prometheus Group and the Morpheus system, and that there is an alternative. I love the capitalistic society in which we live, and I love competition. I loathe monopolies. So I really appreciate you guys making a good product and having an alternative for the urologists out there.
Appreciate that, Doctor.
Thank you.
One last thing for the awesome audience that we have in the Thriving Urology Practice Facebook group. I kind of briefly discussed this with you, Dick. I understand that there may be something that additional discount that you may be able to offer, something that you can throw in for those practices that may be interested in purchasing a new Morpheus system. Would it be a bad idea for me to just simply get their information? They can contact me, DM me directly, and then I can forward that to you?
Yes, that would be wonderful. Yep. I think that if I may say, you'll find the pricing of our systems more in line with what you're used to as far as urodynamic pricing is concerned. But I'd be more than happy to work with you and your group on pricing as well.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't really go into any details. We just said, hey, I just kind of threw it out there, and I really appreciate you offering that to our group. And for those who are watching, I am not being paid by Prometheus. This is not a sponsored video. I simply am bringing this information as an alternative to what some of you may be used to, and some of you may be unhappy. Some of you have voiced that you're very unhappy about regarding the just a crazy price. I know there's inflation, but there's just outrageous just because they have the only device, monopoly, monopolistic price gouging, if you will. So I'm going to say it. Yes, you guys are being nice. I'm going to say it. But that is what's happening, and I appreciate you, Dick, for coming on, and Denise, thank you so much for spending the time with us. And for those with any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to forward the information to the Prometheus Group, and actually, I will leave their contact information in the video description. Contact me directly if you are interested in getting some sort of a possibly additional discount from the Prometheus Group if and when you decide to purchase the Morpheus Urodynamics system. Thank you again, Dick and Denise, for coming on today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lynn. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, as usual, leave them below. DM me directly if you are interested in the purchase of one of these systems. Take care and have a great day.